Do you still recall your first meeting with Slash?
First meeting, I do. The first official meeting in person was the fall of 2009 when I flew down for the what became Starlight in LA. Yeah, he picked me up at the hotel there.
So that's your first meeting actually in person.
Mm-hmm.
But when did you get in contact?
Well, the very first time we got in contact was 2002 actually. He called prior to when Velvet Revolver was Velvet Revolver, and they were considering putting something together at that point, and he reached out to me. That was the first time I talked to him on the phone. Yeah.
And did he tell you why he reached out to you?
Yeah, I mean they were talking about putting a band together and whatnot, and asked if I'd be interested in auditioning, and so yeah, that was the first time that we spoke. It's hard to believe. We were actually talking about that the other day. It's strange how 10 years later, you know, we made a full record together, and it's kind of everything has led to this. It's crazy.
Are you saying everything has led to this? What after 2002, what happened between the two of you?
Well, I respectfully pulled my name out of the hat, so to speak.
Why?
It's kind of a long story. I had been in a band called the Mayfield Four for about 5 years. We recorded 2 records for Sony, and I was just in a really strange place. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I was kind of just questioning my my motivation, I guess, at that point to continue on with rock and roll.
Why? Because of your tinnitus? Or?
Well, I discovered it around that time, but a number of things. I was just burned out. I was disillusioned. I was I just
By what?
By the industry. I mean, it's a tough business, you know. And I put a lot into making those Mayfield Four records. A lot of, as a writer, especially, you know. And then we toured it, and I was just burnt. I was just spent. I met my wife, what became my wife, around that period, and I just was content going back to teaching guitar. And so I just, for a few years, was teaching guitar at the back of a little store in Spokane, Washington. Got married and was, you know, that was my MO at that point in my life.
Well, were you happy with it?
I was initially. Yeah, it was cool at first. I mean, I was really happy because I met my wife, and I was really, I needed that to kind of balance me, because up till that point I was a complete wreck, you know, and so.
In what way?
You know what? It's I think just through everything that it took to kind of make those Mayfield Four records, and everything that it kind of took out of me. I was just, I hate to use this word, I think I was a little bit fragile at that point in my life, and I needed a kind of a foundation and strength, and she was it. And to this day, she's it, you know.
What did those albums do to you? The songwriting. Did you pour out your soul?
Yeah. Oh, totally. Arguably more than I ever have in terms of. Just because I felt like that was it was my chance. It was my time. I had a lot that was going on inside, a lot that I needed to get out. It was very cathartic. You know, it was a great process in that respect, because I learned a ton about myself, and I kind of pushed the limits creatively and as a person, and you know, with Second Skin, the second Mayfield Four record. I mean, I took it as far as I could go creatively, and just was spent. I was tired, and I think I was really hurt as well that I felt like the label didn't necessarily get the whole thing, and you know, it's what happens to most bands. I mean, it's most artists. It's just a tough business, and so I was a learning experience, and I learned and took from that, and then just wanted to pull back. And I honestly didn't. If someone would have said at that point in my life that 10 years from now you'd be back on the horse playing rock and roll, you'd be, you know, getting to do all this great stuff, and things would take a turn for the better, I would have been like, no way. There's absolutely no way. And so I've been beyond lucky.
Bye.